everyone, Brenton here at It's Hockey Night. As the title suggests, this is a video to help you with the NHL 21 beta, using game footage from NHL 20 that's going to be coming up. I just wanted to make a point that I missed out in some of the video features, and you know, they're a little bit raw because they're in practice, but I think you can get a bit of an idea of how to improve and do better. Now you might be saying, like, what are my credentials, I guess? I'm 16-0 online. I haven't lost yet. I'm like ranked 30th. And I think a lot of it has to do, I mean, usually I'm not a bum in these games. I'm usually pretty decent, but I think I've identified a few ways to score. And my defensive game seems to work out very well here. And that's what you need to think in your mind, is that you need to be defensive first. So if you have a defender that's pushing up, and I'll show you an example, dump it instead of getting into the zone. You just don't want to turn over the puck at bad scenarios. But yeah. I mean, comment down below if I missed anything. If you know, I'll be making more videos like this going forward. So do hit subscribe, because it really does help us out. We just cracked 180 yesterday, so that was kind of cool. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, it's a little bit raw because it's just NHL 20 practice, but I hope you can get some tricks and tips and some things that have really helped me stop being scored on, because it's pretty much this 2-on-1 is brutal and you need to prevent rushes. That's the main thing that you're going to do. You'll frustrate the hell out of them and you'll get your own, and then you'll win the game. And I know that sounds very simple, but that's pretty much the meta right now, is to do that. One thing I did miss out in the examples is also play to the players that you have on the ice. If I have Bluger and Zach Aston Reese, I ain't deking. Like, it's just not smart. I'm dumping, I'm chasing, I'm playing a bit more of a defensive game, and to be honest, that line's done very well for me. Like, I've been able to score goals at big opportune times because they can turn over the puck. And again, neutral zone turnovers are the things that win or lose this game for you in this beta. Anyway, hopefully this next video helps you out. And yeah, you can just keep it on, and keep doing well online. But all the best. Hopefully you can get some wins. Maybe not against me. And yeah.
Okay, guys. So now we're in practice for NHL 20. So this is to help you with the technical beta for NHL 21, as everyone is starting to dance because they don't know what to do here. So I just want to give some tips and tricks to not turn over the puck. A lot of this game, as I was saying before, is 2-on-1s are pretty bad. Now, if I get to here, say I'm the defender and I come up and there is no pass, the best thing you can do is dump it. The reason is I'll show you in 2 secs once we get to it. But if you turn it over there, if you skate up to, say, about here, and there's a back-checking forward that stops it anywhere here, you're done. You're done. You're giving up 2-on-1s. That's the one thing you want to avoid. As much as you possibly can. Also, defensively, you want contained puck and you want puck side. Those are the two big things as well. Also, I found if there's not a clean pass anywhere and you're in the offensive zone, just shoot it. Just try get it somewhat free. It doesn't need to be a slap shot. You'll be surprised how many goals you can score that way. Now, if the other thing I've noticed is that people are knowing that the 2-on-1 is amazing. So they're doing this. They'll just straight up pass it to that player right there. Now, obviously, that player is not always going to be free. And we'll obviously add some computers so I can illustrate my point a little bit better. So you can even fake it a little bit and then just duck in. Don't force the 2-on-1s yourself. They will make mistakes if you play a good enough game that will allow you to get the 2-on-1s. Don't force it. So just try find the safe play. If you can't, again, get it to this zone and dump it. That's the best thing you can honestly do sometimes. You can create a forecheck, and then bang, you've got the 2-on-1 going right there. I mean, the 2-on-1's just lethal. A good way to stop them scoring on a 2-on-1, as you can see with Jack Johnson, who's modeling it now. If you hold the RB button, this is on an Xbox, and you do that, see how I'm moving my stick, I'm not just poking. That seems to be the best way, I've noticed, if you can just like hit it away when it's in the air. I know it doesn't seem like much, but that seems to be the best chance I've been able to get. If you're kind of sitting still and you can't, you know, L1 it or dive, that's a good way of doing it. But yeah, all right, let's get into some. Oh wow, that was terrible. All right, let's get some computers in, and I'll illustrate my point a little bit more. Actually, there was one thing I did want to say. If you do turn it over in the back of the net, there's a really good chance that you're going to be able to score from here. Just because the way the AI is, that it doesn't really track you very well. Usually they push a defender to you as a user. Try to be the forwards, not the defense. When you're in defense, just because the defenders seem to do a pretty good job of just holding those the forwards at either wing here. But you can kind of fake which way you're going to go, and then you can just get it out in front. And usually, I mean, in the beta test, that's a goal. So yeah, let's get some computers in, and oh no, there's one other thing I did want to show. Don't always, if they're starting to dive a lot, or they're starting to be predictable, mix up what you're trying to do. Again, you will get amazing opportunities if you play a good neutral zone game to force turnovers. This game really is preventing turnovers. So sometimes just hold it back and just put it in the top corner. Every now and then you cause some chaos. Another really good way I've been scoring goals, outside of I've been sort of moving it. I cycle a lot. I've always been a cycler. So like, if there's a bit of space here, I'll give it to Jack Johnson, and I'll put it out in front with Simone, and do something like that. Usually you can get a turnover there that will allow for the cross crease. The other thing I've been doing is if you're going backhand, or forehand, but backhand's usually a little bit better, you can put it on there, and usually that ends in a rebound. A pretty juicy rebound if there's skaters in front. And that's another real good way to well, yeah, score. See if I can replicate it here. Yeah, you just want it along the ice. You want it into the pads, and then usually you can do something on those lines. Always look for the up pass, just because, I mean, it's going to be lethal. But if it's not there, don't force it. Just, yeah, hang back. If you need to, just hang back. Chill out. You don't have to do anything crazy. Boom. So this would be a good example of, I don't really have much to pass to. I mean, I had 19 there, but instead I'll just dump it. Now, it wasn't a great dump. The dump works much better as a mechanic in this game. But as you can see, easy lane. I do have a good pass up right there, and then boom. I've got a really good scoring chance there. So that's a good example of what you can do to break out. This is a good example of what not to do, is just try yeet. Oh no, I can't. The computer's just so crappy. So I would say usually, so yeah, prime example, I'm trying to just run through with Letang. Instead, just hold it up. See, now I can just head back here. Now I've created a bit of space there. Now I've got a 4-on-3. So this is a really good opportunity. Now he's been able to back check me, and that's fine. But that's a really good opportunity to be able to do things. You don't have to go for the first option when it happens. See right there, I've made sure I've kept puck position. I actually got a hook then, so that kind of worked out pretty well. Right here, again, just, there we go. Just a nice little pass to Crosby. He was completely free. I had a bit of pressure there. I don't know why this pass is not working as well. The Tang goes round. This is another good play that you can do. Just sort of turn on the boards, do a 180, and you're away here. Yep, see, nothing's on, so I'll put it over to Simone. Boom. I've broken out. And I'm not forcing it up the ice. Another good shot that you can do. Because anything in the corners just cause absolute chaos. Now defensively, it's going to be a little bit hard to show you. But pretty much, if the skater is, say, coming... I'll do an example, and you'll just have to use the imagination. Say a skater's coming down this way, and they're just, you know, trying to dipsy-doodle. This is pretty much what you want to be doing as a defender. If it's just your two defenders, I mean, ideally, you'd go a defender and then you change to a forward. But you'd obviously want to be facing the right way, and you just want to backskate and kind of follow them. The worst thing you can do is try push them and take them at neutral ice, unless they're by themselves, in which case, it's probably a good chance for a turnover. If there's a couple of players around them, you don't want to do that. The worst thing you could do is probably hit with your defender. If he goes down, there's a 2-on-1, you've been scored against. So yeah. And again, dump. It is your absolute friend. Yeah, that goal does not happen in that game. Now the other thing I wanted to show is if you're on a breakaway, this is the best move that you can do. It's just the old, that's it. I know it's so easy, but it really is the best move that you can do. I found it's just worked countless times, to be honest. If you just go forward, back, and then just pretty late switch it over and yeah, get that in. try not to be too... Again, this is the worst place to turn over the puck. The absolute worst place to turn over the puck. Bear in mind, if you're very good at this game, you don't need to know all this. This is more for the beginners, which I introduced before. Not beginners, but people that are just trying to get a bit better. This is the worst place to turn over the puck. Anything that can result in a very quick defensive game, a very quick offensive move, really hurts you. They will probably score on it. It's not like the other games where you could really counter it or do pretty well with it. You'll just end up in that every single time. So that's the last thing that you want. And that's the thing. Everyone, you know, your defenders are going the wrong way, everyone's pushing, and it's such an easy goal. So that's why, even if I'm here and I'm getting bogged down by forwards and I can't get anywhere, there's no pass, I can't get in the zone, just dump it. It is probably the biggest piece of advice I can give people. The amount of times I've won games against good players because they just try the same thing over and over again by rushing in. It just doesn't work. And that's it. So yeah, with the breakout, just don't rush. So those are the bits of advice that I have. Dump and chase, never have your defense out of position. Even if, another thing that I do with the defense is, say I shoot it wide, you know, there. And my defender comes up to take the rebound like here. If I have no one free, if the only other player is free is the defense, I'll do that. I'll skate till I have a shot, and then I'll just put it on. Even though that's a nothing shot, most likely not going to be a goal. You never know. It might generate a rebound. It might, you know, it might get a tip. You really don't know. But the biggest thing about it is that you're not going to get scored on the other side. And that's the way you got to play your offense a little bit, is just protecting against those 2-on-1s, because they are so deadly. And yeah. With the deeks, try keep it pretty simple. I've noticed some people really trying to use the new deeks. You know, if you got a defender charging you, just a quick little windmill, it's pretty fine to give you a bit of space to, you know, allow yourself to get your own 2-on-1, which is really the game within the game, is trying to get your own 2-on-1s. And yeah, on the rush, it's pretty brutal if you can get them. And as you can see here, even that, it's unbelievable. Anyway, guys, I hope that helped in some way, shape, or form. Again, this is on NHL 20, so the schematics aren't going to work perfectly. I would have loved to get some footage from the game without being in training, because then I could show you exact scenarios, but yeah. As for my credentials, I'm 16 wins, 0 losses. I'm currently like ranked 30th or something in the game. That's not me showing off, it's just so you're like, well, why are you know, what credentials do you have? So yeah, the tips are, if you're a defenseman, you're in the point, try just find somewhere that you can shoot this. If you can't, try just shove it in there. That's another thing. Just pass it into that. You do not want to turn it over here at all. And again, you never know. You'll never know what rebounds and tips you get. I've scored a few goals. I mean, last game, you know, it was a 3-1 game. I was up. I was probably going to win. But, you know, what was the real dagger was he couldn't... I got a tip-in goal from Bluger, of all people. So, yeah. So that's, yeah, it does help. If you are behind the net, don't rush it. Just you know, try fake out what he's going to do. They're always going to be protecting that little 2-on-1. So most likely, the one computer is going to be holding one spot, he's going to be holding another. If he pushes you, go the other side, and you have a pretty sweet chance at goal there. But yeah, don't obviously stay there forever. But yeah, just just be smart. And on the breakout, I think this is the biggest issue that people get, is they're either not quick enough reacting, and, you know, to a short pass. If there's someone just there and it's an easy pass to make, that's the smart thing to do. You don't need to do these massive, like, you know, Crosby might be free on the breakaway. That's probably going to get picked up in a game. So yeah, it leads to a great scoring chance, but it's probably going to lead it to 2 of my forwards out of position, and they're going to score. So I know it's a bit of a boring thing that I'm sort of saying, like, but it is stuff that if you get this down pat, you will be a much better player, and then you can start doing the flashy, exciting stuff. You know, spin moves and all that sort of jazz, once you've got your game down pat. But there's no point doing that if you're losing 7-1 against players better than you. You just need to lock it down, frustrate the crap out of them, and yeah, you'll be able to do pretty well in the end. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot.
Okay, guys, again, sorry if it was a little bit raw just because it is NHL 20 practice. I would have loved to have done something else in that, but, you know, it is what it is. I can't use the footage, so I just tried my best in NHL 20 practice to highlight that, but obviously I'll be recording more footage as we go along, and then, you know, we can start to build this up when NHL 20 is released, and I can start doing more tips and tricks with a bit more live action footage, which I think will be a lot better. But if you did like this video or like the direction of where things are going and you've already subscribed, then hit the like button. Otherwise, if you have made it all this way and you haven't subscribed, hit that button. We're at 180. It really does help us out. You have no idea. And comment down below, what do you think of the beta so far? You know, what are your examples of ways that you win? But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. See you, and bye.